Hello and welcome to another Watch Report video review. My name is James Stacy and today we're taking a close look at the Divemaster 500 in titanium from the makers of the Swiss Army knife, the Victorinox team. For reference, this is the 241262 model, and this is the full titanium with the titanium bracelet. It's a quartz model. It's not the gunmetal PVD. Can be a little confusing if you're searching for them. So let's take a close look. So first things first, the size. It's 43 millimeters across, not including the crown, so across here. 14 millimeters tall. If you go looking for this model online, you will see it quoted as 12 millimeters. I'm not sure why, but instances like Amazon are quoting this as being 12 millimeters tall. I've accurately measured this at 14 millimeters. Lug distance. So lug to lug is 53 millimeters. It's a little long if you have like a skinny wrist, or a wrist with a narrow top, if you will. And lastly, you get 22 millimeter lugs, which suit this bracelet very well. So it's an all titanium design. The watch is powered by the Ronda, the Swiss Ronda 715.5. Overall, you're getting 500 meter water resistance, so that's 1,650 feet. Puts it right up there with the Breitlings. The sapphire crystal on this is excellent. Has a 3-layer anti-reflective coating. You get a full loomed bezel, markers, and hands. I'll show you that in a moment. And interesting for some, just here under the second hand, you will see that the date window actually has a magnifier or a cyclops right inside the aperture. I think this can make it sometimes difficult to see the date if it's not, straight on. But otherwise, it does magnify an otherwise small date. And that date is a white wheel with black text. Should be the opposite on a watch with a dark dial. So let's take a nice close look at the dial here. We get in really close, you can see the text is perfect. The markers are fully inlaid and bordered with a kind of brushed metal. Lots of luminous paint here, plenty on the hands as well, which are some of the most legible design I've ever seen. You can see the minute hand does stretch all the way to the marker, as we like. And then being quartz, you're getting a ticking second hand, and you can see here that, like almost all quartz, it does not line up perfectly with its markers. That's not a defect in the watch, that's the way these watches are for the most part. So I do think that the magnifier on the date is pretty unique, although like I said, I can find it to be somewhat hard to see the date at different angles. If you look at a fairly simple angle such as this, and you can no longer see the 1 in 18. Okay, so let's take a nice close look at the bracelet here. It is a full titanium bracelet with a fold over clasp and a safety. You get solid end links to fit the bracelet to the watch, and it's a push pin fitting, which at this price point I would much prefer to see a screwed option and not the push pin. Other than that, it's a quiet bracelet. It doesn't pull hairs. There's enough space between the links that it's not tight. It's quite easy to wear, and being titanium, it's really just considerably light. This watch is a low impact watch on your wrist. It's hard to tell that you have it on, especially if you've just come from wearing a larger dive watch. So what we'll do is we're going to charge this up under the light, and we'll take a look at the luminous qualities of the Divemaster. One moment. Okay, so after about 30 seconds for it to charge up, you will see that it glows quite brightly. Now the ones that last the longest are going to be the hands and the larger areas on the bezel, as well as these larger two markers here, the smaller dots and the Victorinox symbol at the top there. Those will fade the fastest, but I did find this watch to be completely useful in dark situations for 6-7 hours, right through the evening. You'd wake up in the middle of the night and the hands were still perfectly visible, on the side table, or if you wear your watch to bed. So I really do applaud them for this. This is the way that watches should be. It's very similar to something like a Seiko. Typically you would get more paint on a Seiko, so they last a little longer and might appear, bright like these markers are here. All in all, great marks for the inclusion of some very bright luminous paint. We'll take a look at a wrist shot. Okay, and here's the Divemaster 500 titanium on wrist. As you can see, at 14 millimeters, it does sit a little high, but it's in no way unacceptable given that it's a tool dive watch. Given its height, it is really almost laughably light. Super light, super easy to wear. Bracelet's very comfortable. None of it weighs anything. It's surprising how light it is. We would have liked to have seen screwed links in the bracelet and a slightly better grip on the bezel, which is quite smooth. But other than that, the watch works well for its price range. The cost direct from Victorinox would be $850 Canadian, which is about the same American currently. And at that price point, it would be nice to get an automatic, but it's not surprising to see it come in under $1,000 from a well-known brand with a quartz. It would be really interesting to see this exact same model as an automatic, as it doesn't exist. If you go to an automatic in the Divemaster, you'll get a stainless steel case that's PVD gunmetal coated, which is what they've done with most of the lineup. And I think that the titanium is the one that stands out. This makes for an infinitely more wearable watch, given its high stature, its wide sides. It's very long, as you can see. It takes up most of the flat part of the top of my wrist. But really a great watch. Obviously, you're going to have fantastic timekeeping with it being quartz, and you can probably wear this daily without issue for quite some time. So for Watch Report, this is the Victorinox Swiss Army Divemaster 500 Titanium, reference 241262. Thanks very much for watching.